This is David Toulis, and you know I make a very winning argument, a very weak one. The argument I make for a local economy and free market is very, very fragile, very weak. It doesn't have the 82nd Airborne behind it. It doesn't have stormtroopers dressed up as cops in it. It has only voluntary relations and a free society and Christianity and the sweet gospel of repentance and grace. That's what it has in it. And it doesn't really take people by force. It doesn't take them by storm. It works very quietly in the background. And just as a city being built, you might see the skyline unchanged. But if you listen close, you can hear the jackhammers and the rumble of earth movers and the rum of dump trucks hauling out dirt as the foundations are being laid. You can't see it on the silhouette. It doesn't show up there, but you can hear it. And that work, I would suggest, is going on now. That would be rebuilding, maybe even reconstruction of a decade old order, a decade centralized society, progressive, statist-oriented industrial society that is all around us now, and that is the horizon that we are so impressed by, left and right. The weak argument I make is called local economy and free markets. Again, it doesn't use coercion; it uses cooperation. It doesn't use threat; it uses aimability and compassion. And those are the main arguments, if you will, of Christianity, which Christianity has always excelled in, and is its main theme. That is to say, grace, unwarranted, unmerited grace to sinners. That's the theological argument. But in the outworkings of that message and that claim of God upon society, there are many fruits that favor both the elect and everybody else, right? And that fruit would be, well, there's particular grace, and then there's general grace, or general grace, and general grace is the overflowing of the cup of particular or special grace to God's people, and that is where civilization comes from. Everybody benefits if they follow the main idea, which is service to the other, looking out for the other first. And capitalism, as I like to suggest, capitalism run by businesses such as the one run by Mark Carmesino here in the Chattanooga area, an importer that creates special bedding products for the hotel industry. Those businesses serve their customers and are living out in their service, in their marketing, in their manufacturing, in their outreach, living out the idea of the other, helping the other. And this is David Toulis defending capitalism and seeing in capitalism the real message, which is looking out for your customer, looking out for your neighbor, your children. Not yourself, right? Yourself last, the customer first. That's the message of capitalism and free enterprise. And if we have a freer society with less compulsion, fewer police, fewer Airbnb ordinances out of places like East Ridge, and fewer commands and dictates from Nashville and Washington, well, we will be more prosperous and I'd say happier people. This is David Toulis, and we're at 800-8949, 800-8949. And we argue that near is better than far, small than big, and simple than complex. And down in the footnotes, again, with Helvetica type, which is neutral, non-compulsory sans serif type, we have it 5 points. Personal is better than corporate, and physical than abstract. Brought to you by Nuganomics.com, Nuganomics.com, the highly unpopular website that is for the people who matter. That's why it's not popular, because it's only for the people who matter and not other people. Other people should not go there. Only the people who matter, and they do go there. They want to know what David Toulis, your host, has to say. And also brought to you by YourNews.com. Mark Carmesino is 51. He's married. His wife Lisa, and he have 3 grown children and 6 grandchildren. And he runs a business, an importer here in the Chattanooga area. And Mark's brand is Protectees, and it's a real special product for pillowcases and mattresses that helps keep off and get rid of bed bugs, which is something that plagues every now and then hotels and inns and the like. Mark, how's business going in the import field with your factories in China?
Well, the business overall in itself, David, by the way, thank you again for having me on your show on Nuga Radio. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you. But business overall is pretty and as the economy is actually, growing and going and getting stronger and stronger. But we're seeing that on the retail end as well as in our hospitality side and the industrial side of our businesses. So it's growing and increasing in growth. I think not only from an economical perspective, but also just from a protection need. I think more and more people are becoming aware of the fact that they're investing a lot of money in their retail purchases or in their business purchases when it comes to mattresses and box springs and the like. When you're spending $2,000 or $3,000 on something that you want longevity in and that's going to be a comfort to you, as important as rest is. And they're going out and spending money to keep that protection on the products that they're purchasing. So more and more people are becoming aware of it, and particularly from an allergen. Of course, here in Chattanooga and in the Valley, allergies are so significant and difficult to deal with. But our products, it's a fully encased six-sided protection. When I say six-sided, it covers all four sides of a mattress as well as the bottom and the top. And it's a full zippered encasement with what we kind of call a garage door flap that protects from bed bugs, dust mites. It is waterproof and allergy protection. So more and more people are finding that to be important. So as you asked, business is doing very well. But the fact that we import from China is interesting in itself too, just particularly due to a lot of the tariff situation and some of the trade wars that we're learning more and more about, or that we're beginning to experience. But it hasn't affected us at all, and thankfully. But yeah, it's China being the manufacturing country that it is. It's very fortuitous for us to be able to manufacture over there and bring our products into the United States.
We're talking with Mark Carmesino, whose product is ProtectEase. You can find out more about that. Just Google ProtectEase. And he's a distributor with an office in the county, in Hamlet County, and has businesses all around. And the product, again, is allergen protecting bed bug protecting encasements of mattresses and pillows. Now, we were talking just a moment ago, Mark, about the Airbnb field in Chattanooga, which means that regular people, like my listener, who's a homeowner, not involved in business, he works for somebody else in another field, but he has a house, and actually quite a big house. That now that his three teenage children have gone, and there are rooms available, and he's thinking of doing a short-term vacation rental in East Ridge. Now, how is it that your product would help him with his? He has 3 beds in that second part of his house that is not being used much, and that he's thinking of extending for the use of the free market through Airbnb. How would what does he need to do, first of all, on mattresses and pillows to make sure his guests are comfortable, and then what do you have to offer in ProtectEase that would be of benefit to the man or the family in East Ridge that's already involved in Airbnb short-term vacation rental?
Sure, and David, the hospitality industry and Airbnb obviously becoming more and more, and Vrbo as itself also, where vacation rentals are direct consumer to consumer. It's becoming more and more of a bigger business. So to your listener in East Ridge, I would certainly encourage it. It could be a great revenue opportunity, but I will also caution him in the event that he does move forward, that he is going to want to provide that comfort and that peace of mind. I mean, myself as a business person, and I would imagine you as well, David, travel time to time, and no one wants to go into an environment or into a rental environment to where they're concerned, like, on the cleanliness and the well kept property, and have any kind of hesitation in regards to it. So our ProtectEase product, which, by the way, to your listeners, they can find our product at many of their retailers, but can also purchase online at www.protect-ease.com, www.protect-ease.com, and find our products there.
Spell ease
for your listener in East Ridge. I would highly recommend that. Not only does he want to invest in a good quality mattress for any of his guests, but he's also going to want to protect that and give them peace of mind. Quite honestly, we do business with a lot of the hotel motels. We participate in the HOA Association, which HOA is the American Indian Hospitality and Hotel Motel Ownership Group. Matter of fact, we have quite a few of them here in the Chattanooga area. The members of that we provide products for the hotels. And quite honestly, if you're going into a hotel, one thing you don't have to worry about is dust mites and allergens from other people that might have brought them in, or bed bugs that might be, in some of the rooms that you might be staying in. So there's a great peace of mind that comes from a consumer standpoint. And I would recommend to him that he actually advertises or makes any of his potential Airbnb renters aware of the fact that not only does he have quality bedding product, but he also has it protected for their sake.
And the idea is that if my listener living in East Ridge and wanting to exercise the liberty of renting his home out to someone from Dubai or Sydney, Australia, he would change that encasement of the mattress out between guests. Is that the idea, or do you leave it on for a month?
Well, actually, it's not. We provide the product that it's not really necessary due to the longevity and the quality and the strength of the product that we provide. But it is what we make is a fully washable, machine washable product with warm water, and it also has a warm tumble dry, so it can actually be cleaned and washed with regular, clothing products or bath products. But it's not necessary unless there's generally, a huge spill or an accident on a mattress to have to actually change that out. And that's one of the things that would give an Airbnb consumer a lot of comfort, just knowing that this product fully protects and would, give them a comfortable sleeping and peace of mind. But it's not necessary to change it out. Generally, the product will last the lifetime of a mattress. But it is good to wash and clean, on occasion. But even from a hotel perspective, they only take them off about once a year, unless, again, as I said, if there's major spill or some type of accident on a mattress product.
This is David Tillis, and we're talking with Mark Carmesina, who runs a company, an importer here in the Chattanooga area that sells Protectees. And Mark, just to get the website right, I guess Protectee is Protect hyphen. I think you meant hyphen, and then ease, is that EASE or EZE?
It's PROTECT dash ease, EASE.
Yeah, and I think that's a hyphen, not a dash, a hyphen.
Yes.
This is David Tillis. Well, let me ask you a question. There was circulating in the past couple of days a video of a shopkeep in Jacksonville, Florida, military town, who was being harassed by the good people in his city's executive branch over a sign ordinance. What's the story there, and what is your take on let's say the right of free expression by business? Do corporations and businesses and shopkeepers have a right to express themselves, or should they be under a total ban of the sign ordinance? Mark Carmesina.
No, I don't agree. The government should be involved in that. And I am familiar with what you mentioned there in Jacksonville, Florida, and it's kind of a viral video that was going around where it was a power sports motorcycle and four-wheel vehicle retail outlet where the city manager, Jacksonville, actually came in and wanted to cite the business for flying all of the military branches flags as well as two United States of America flags, and came in and told them they had to take them down or they would be taken to court by the government in the city. And then proceeded to install a customer who said, I don't understand why does it have to come down. And she said, what do you care? What have you done for your country? And the guy actually ended up being a veteran who served in Vietnam and said, ma'am, I took 3 bullets in the leg for this country. So it concerns me greatly, and there shouldn't be no reason that we can't buy these bags. And proceeded to insult the customer and cited the business and then left. Consequently, as a follow-up, I followed the story, and the mayor of Jacksonville actually got involved. And from what I understand, the city manager was either terminated or reassigned, but strictly came in and apologized not only to the business but to the customer directly. So it was good to see the mayor take that type of action in Jacksonville. But those things concern us here in our own community and county and Hamilton County as well as Chattanooga, that businesses should have that right to express, particularly as it relates to their loyalty or their appreciation for the military. And for any business to have to be restrained from expressing themselves, I think is not something that the government should be involved in.
Well, there was a story that moved in the past year or so of a donut shop on, I think, Market Street, where there was a mural of a donut painted on the side of the building. This was actually in 2014, and Joy Lakachik Smith wrote the story. There was an initial uproar over the painting of this sign near the far end of a parking lot near the donut shop, and there was an uproar, and finally the city council or members of the city council or administration, Mayor Burke's administration, said, look, we're not going to force the ordinance on this. This is a beautiful painting. It's a mural. It doesn't make a direct advertising. There are ways of looking at the offense, if you will, to see that it really was outside the scope of the ordinance, and the whole thing blew over. But something like that with Koch's Bakery and Barbara Davis is the owner. She received a lot of support from that, and people were taking her side. And I think people like to take the side of the small business owner, Mark Armacino, because they want to not because they resent. They resent being told that someone's being told, no, you can't have your sign up. This rule applies, and we're going to harass you. Sign ordinance enforcement in Chattanooga is miserable, meaning it's bad for businesses. Business people hate it. They resent it. They don't like being subject to the corporation that way.
Well, I certainly can appreciate that. And from an entrepreneurial perspective, I've owned some businesses. Actually, I own a business out here in the South Daisy area as well. But you don't want to be told this is your business and you're willing or should be able to express yourself as you see fit, not only to promote your business but maybe promote your beliefs as well. So I'm fully in favor of that. And you see many businesses here, particularly just in the Bible Belt, and just being a Christian community as Chattanooga is so strongly, where a lot of businesses post or use signs or billboards as far as expressing their faith and advertising their businesses as well. I see it all up and down Hickson Pike and what have you. But to me, I don't find any offense in that at all. Now, I do believe that government or communities or local governments should regulate from an aesthetic perspective. From just keeping the community or the surrounding businesses keeping up and making sure that aesthetically it's helping promote the community and keeping things as regulated from that perspective, but not necessarily as far as being able to express what they want to say on it, whether it be billboard or business ownership.
Well, Mark Armacino, thanks very much for joining us. Thank you very much.
My pleasure, David. I appreciate you having me.
Mark Armacino runs a distributing business that has manufactories, I should say, in China, and the product that comes across the Pacific Ocean are sheet bed protector, mattress protectors, and pillow protectors that are used by homeowners involved in the short-term vacation rental market, a growing area of business possibly for his outfit, and also the hotel and hospitality field. This is David Tillis, and we're glad you're giving us just a couple minutes of your time. We have just a great lineup every day here at Nooga Radio. We have Bloomberg Business News for 2 hours at 1 o'clock, so just after lunch, or just as your lunch hours is ending and you're popping back in your car, keep tuned to Bloomberg. The show is Policy, Politics, Power, and Law. At 2 o'clock, when you're in the grind deeply and have forgotten the outer world, we have the market show that investors tune into, and people who matter tune into the market show at a crucial hour of the day. That's before you sell, right? If you're going to follow that and sell, that would be the show you listen to if you're making a momentary decision before the 4 o'clock close of the markets. That's 2 to 3. At 3, we have Sean Hannity, and every morning, just the absolute best news show here. And I'm so proud of Russell and Val. So it's the morning news with Russ and Val starting at 6 o'clock. We have got all the bases covered, and it's a chit-chat free news program. And it's only here at 92.7 and 95.3 FM HD. That's HD, high definition, channel 4, HD4, 95.3, HD4. Local, neighborhood, local. That's my argument. David Toulis. Now, we're going to hear about how the good people in the prison system simply can't. They simply don't know how to follow their own rules. And because we have an ungodly system of justice, which is not just at all, we have the queerest, most bizarre problems. And we have our correspondent, Brenda Harmer, and also Robert Z. Whipple, filing reports with us here at Newder Radio about the grim conditions under CoreCivic. David Toulis. 3, 2,